Hey, what's going on, guys? We got some new weapons for Eirika, Soren, and Leo. The wording for some of these weapons are a little confusing, so in this video I'm going to try my best to explain how they work. I'll also share some of my build ideas that I quickly came up with for each of these weapons. Let's start off with Eirika. Her original weapon grants 3 attack to adjacent allies. Its refined effect grants 4 attack instead of 3, which was expected since FEHeroes' refined weapon was also in the same boat. The new effect says during combat grants bonus to attack, speed, defense, resistance equal to highest bonus on allies within 2 spaces. Each stat bonus calculated independently. So basically what this effect does is that Eirika copies the highest numbered display or visible buff from her allies that are within 2 spaces of her. Here's a graphic to show you what the within 2 spaces range looks like. And in this picture, Hinoka has the buffs from Hone and Fortify Flyer, so she's granted +6 in every single stat. She's within 2 spaces of Eirika, so when Eirika goes into combat, Eirika copies all the buffs that Hinoka has. These buffs are combat buffs, therefore it's stacked with other buffs in the game. And you can tell from the graphic that the buffs do not have to be from Eirika. Eirika can copy buffs from a unit that was given by somebody else, which in this case was from Missouri. Keep in mind that Eirika only copies the highest numbered buff from her allies, so if there was 2 allies, one with a +6 attack buff and the other was +4, Eirika doesn't gain +10 attack, she only gains +6. And in this next picture, Hinoka only has Fortify Flyer buffs, which is +6 defense and resistance, so Eirika is only granted +6 defense and resistance. I think it's a strong effect, probably the best one out of the 3. Eirika is one of the best buffers in the game, so she can pretty much set up for herself. She doesn't really need to rely on allies, it's just that with allies, she can gain bigger buff numbers. So here's some builds. This is a budget build that you can build on Eirika. With this set, she grants allies 4 in 3 different stats: attack, speed, and defense. So if she fights near those buffed up allies, she's granted +4 in those same stats. She's not the strongest unit out there due to her low attack, so Triangle Adept helps increase her weapon triangle advantage damage versus greens, and Swordbreaker is there to expand her coverage. So here's the next build. It's kind of expensive, but here's the core skills: Disencounter and Wrath. Like I said, Eirika is not that strong. She's really special reliant, so Wrath really helps. But anyways, the rest of the slots are pretty much up to you and depends on the team composition. Aether is probably the best special just to increase arena scoring, and the long cooldown isn't so bad with Wrath. There's a bunch of combination of skills that you can fill these slots with. Just make sure that none of the buffs overlap. Alright, next is Soren. He got a new weapon called Wind's Brand. Its effect is basically chill attack. It has the same mechanic as Fallen Silica's chill speed and Gunthro's chilling seal. At the start of every turn, he inflicts -7 attack on a foe on the enemy team with the highest attack. If 2 enemies have the same attack, then they will both get debuffed. It's a global range, so it's guaranteed to activate every single turn, and when refined, it gains another effect, which is the exact same effect as the Owl Tomes. When he stands adjacent to 1 ally, he gains 2 in every single combat stat. Adjacent to 2 allies, then it's +4, and 3 adjacent allies, then it's +6. There's nothing new about his weapon, so it's kind of underwhelming in that sense, but it's not a bad weapon. When comparing with Ground Blade, he pretty much sacrifices damage for more utility. Alright, so this is kind of a silly build that I just came up with. Don't take it too seriously. Wind's Brand already makes him into a supporty type of hero, so why not give him all of the debuffing skills? You could even use him to bait physical range units as long as they are debuffed by the weapon effect. If he's adjacent to 3 allies and the enemy is debuffed by Wind's Brand, he essentially has 59 total physical bulk and 44 speed, and that should be enough to tank a hit for most units. The only issue is that you might not be able to hit Wind's Brand's effect and chill speed on the same target, but either way, as long as the enemy gets hit by one of them, then Soren should still be able to tank at least 1 hit. You might think Defense Bullet is questionable because Soren doesn't deal physical damage, but it's there to help his teammates. Other than that build, the only other idea I have for him is by using bond skills. He's still not bulky enough to use close counter like other Owl Tome mages unless he lands Wind's Brand's effect, but it's kind of too unreliable in my opinion. Last weapon is Leo's Brynhildr. Its original effect restricts foes' next turn movement to 1 space or less. When refined, the effect changes entirely. Its new effect reduces the first attack from magic foes by 30%. If foe uses bow, dagger, magic, or staff, and Leo's defense is greater or equal than the foe's defense by 1, foe cannot make a follow-up attack. So if the ranged enemy has 1 less defense than Leo, they can't double him. And if the foe is a mage, then they deal 30% less damage to Leo. This weapon effect should work on both phases. It's an okay upgrade. It definitely makes Leo a lot more tankier, but I feel like Leo will still be very weak unless he's surrounded by the right units with the right buffs. I mean, Leo only has 29 base attack, so he's really special reliant. That being said, the only way he's going to double consistently and get his charge specials up is by running quicker posts on the enemy phase. So even though this weapon works on both phases, I would still recommend building him as an enemy phase unit. Alright, so this is the cheapest and most effective build I think I could come up with. It's actually not that cheap, but I don't think there's much you can do with Leo's refinement. I think he always needs at least one distant defense 3 so he has enough defense to activate Brynhildr's effect. If one isn't enough, then 4-5 cavalry buff should be. Leo has terrible attack and quote can't get doubled, so with quicker post equipped, the max amount of charges he can get from one fight is 3, which would leave a 3 charge special like Iceberg hanging until the following player phase, which is why I gave him quick impulse so he could at least activate Iceberg on the first engagement. The next build is a build with Fierce Stance, Quicker Post, Distant Defense 3, and Moonbow. With Fierce Stance and Horse buffs, I think he'll have a respectable attack stat to 1-round KO enemies with Moonbow. Pretty simple strat, just bait range enemies. They most likely won't be able to double Leo. Leo counterattacks twice and procs Moonbow with the second hit. That's pretty much it for these weapons. I want to know your opinions on these weapons. Which one do you like the most? Do you like Soren's and Leo's weapons? Let me know in the comments. I think Eirika's is the best one. Soren's and Leo's are a bit iffy. I think they both pose more of a threat with a blade tome just because it's such a powerful weapon for any mage out there. Soren's weapon may seem a little bit underwhelming, but I think he has potential, and I think Leo will still be underwhelming even with his new refinement, but I could be wrong. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.